Well, here we are out on Lake Champlain with Dad Bear and the boys going out to do a little fishing. We're down opposite, we're about opposite Bluff Point, I guess, right now. We'll swing over and get a shot of the shore here in a minute. We're traveling south. There's the red buoy. This is looking across. Now this is the near shore, the New York side here. And there's a B-52 coming into the land there, if you can make it out, just over the treetops. There's Dad opening a Genesee. I obviously had one too. And the boys have their soda. A lake. It's a soft drink you don't see anymore. I don't know whether Steve is drinking the same thing or not. And here we are back at Mom and Dad Abear's, and Barb is coming home from the hospital with her firstborn, Scotty Ailey. And there's a shot of him. He's a big boy now, too. Just got back a few months ago from Desert Storm. Was stationed in Germany during the Gulf War. And there's Barb. Very proud of the little guy. They waited quite a while for him. And there's Tammy, Patsy's little girl. Is about 6 months older than Scotty. And there are the two of them in Mom's bedroom on her bed. And this is in Oswego. Dad and I were sitting on the front porch. There was a praying mantis on the side of my chair, and Dad's trying to nudge it with a newspaper to get it to move. And there it is. It's on my knee now, and get a better picture of it. And here is a shot. We went out to the shores of Lake Ontario, just a little ways from Oswego. Dad wanted to get some rocks for something. For the life of me, I don't remember now what he wanted them for, but we were out picking up rocks, and it was quite a windy day, and the lake was very rough, probably as rough as you'll ever see it. These waves were coming in. They're surfers' waves. And there's Dad. That's about the roughest I've ever seen Lake Ontario. Now we're driving back into Oswego, Bridge Street on the west side, going back to the house. That's the Oswego Hospital there on the right, behind the mobile station. We're going down 4th Street here. This is Bridge Street, crossing over it. Dad and I went fishing while we were there. We went out to Port Ontario, rented a boat, spent the day fishing. Dad's going to get the big one here now. There it is. He's got it. Need the net, Dad? Look at that fish breakwater. There it comes. There it is. Best catch of the day, unfortunately. Little perch. He's happy, though. Not what you'd call trophy size. There's a shot of Clyde. I'm not exactly sure where that was taken. Must have been in the backyard, I guess, maybe under the tree. And this is back in Plattsburgh. Steve and a young Soper girl, I don't recall what her first name was, and Mike and a friend of his. Her last name won't come to me at all right now. But this is behind Mom and Dad Hebert's house, their backyard. That chimney you see off in the background there on that little greenhouse is a house we wound up living in now for 23 years. There's Mike putting Clyde through his paces. And here's a shot out Mom's back door screen, through the screen. Here's Barb and her husband Dick and little Scotty. They're on their way to have him baptized. They stopped by the house. There's my wife giving her brother-in-law a smacker. Break it up, Ma. Break it up. That's it. That's it. Pull them apart. Of course, I will have to retaliate here. Dick and Barb getting in the car to go to the church. So I come up and give Barb a kiss. You notice I have reverted back to one of my famous haircuts again. There's Mom Bear with little Tammy. Here again, these pictures were taken in the fall of 1966. This is another Chihuahua, the second Tex, and he and Clyde got along famously. Here they are playing together out in the lawn, checking Tammy out. There's Daddy Bear with Tammy. The dogs are trying to get as much attention as they can. There's Patsy. Now Tammy's going to get a ride on Clyde's back. I'm afraid Clyde's too busy playing with Tex to be concerned about who's riding on his back. There's Patsy with her daughter. And this is the day of Patsy's wedding. This is September of 1969. We had just moved up to the little house next door. And just in time for Patsy's wedding. There she is, all ready to go to the church. That's Bernice's sister-in-law, Artie's sister, behind her to the left there. Here's Dad and his tux. And there's Mom with her camera. There's my Ambassador automobile there in the back just behind Mom. There's some of our furniture still out on the lawn. Stuff we didn't have room for in the house. And there's Patsy again. It's the same wedding gown that Debbie wore quite a few years later when she got married. In '79. Now we're coming out of the church. Gloria gives her sister a kiss. And there's Barb. There's Dad with my wife, Gloria. And Gloria's sister, Bernice, comes into the picture. Everybody's decked out in their Sunday best. And there's Mom Abear's brother, Willie St. John, or Uncle Willie as we call him. There's Artie. The wedding was at Our Lady of Victory Church on South Catherine, just a couple blocks away from Mom and Dad's house, and our house too at the time, being right next door to Mom and Dad's. There's Jimmy Wilfore and Aunt Bert. There's Joanne Abear, Francis's wife. There's Barbara Hauser. And there's Scotty. Dick and Barb's son. There's Bernie Jandro standing with Dad. I worked for Bernie for a while after we moved up here. There's the car of the bride and groom, Ken and Pat. And this is at the reception after the wedding. Barb sitting in a kettle. Her brother Francis standing to her right, to our left. There's Bernie to the right. And then the lights went out. Now here's Dad at the microphone, favoring us with a song. Bernice is laughing about something there in the foreground. Here's Ken and Pat getting ready to cut the wedding cake. I'll feed you ceremony. There goes Kenny after the garter. Something struck Patsy funny. Maybe he's got the wrong leg, I don't know. Oh, we're at Griffiss Air Force Base now. My retirement ceremonies. Those of us to be recognized in one way or another are approaching the reviewing stand here. I'm the second one from the right, about to receive my medal from the base commander.